Salute on my generals, on my lions, on my real men, on my queens, on my princesses, on my lionesses. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's Lions and Men. Hit the like, share, subscribe. Y'all first time on here. This one right here is how situations in the streets that happen in the streets literally catch up to you and tear. You in the belly of the beast. It's a small world, bro. Rikers Island holds 10,000 individuals, bro. All the upstate corrections, they go from 1,500 to 4,000. Like, they hold a lot of inmates. It's a huge population, a nice chunk, man. And it's crazy how you still be crossing paths with dudes, bro. Cause y'all come from the same neighborhood, man. Y'all still be going through the same spots, same facilities, man. So in this situation right here, you know what I mean, it has to do with yours truly. And let's get into it. So, mid-90s, you know, I was on some real pretty boy, flamboyant shit. Skinny little dude, talking wild shit, funny. Still the same dude, same personality, right? I wasn't as aggressive and crazy though back then. I was more on some chick shit, you know what I mean? So, I ended up getting into a situation because of one of my shorties. Respectfully, I ain't gonna bring up certain names because I don't even know if, like, a dude is alive still or dead. Like, I don't want to talk about the dead, and I'm not sure, so I'm gonna be respectful with those. Like, I'll tell you the neighborhood. The neighborhood is 183rd Riot Ave. I was there for a short period of time when I was in my teenage years. I was in and out of jail when I was on that block, like left and right though, like, and that's when I got hit with my 12 years. I wasn't even living there no more, but I was living close. I was living in Jerome and shit, down a couple of streets, a couple of blocks, but same area, you know, basically, kinda, sorta. Anyway, I get into a situation because my shorty had a situation with some older head dude. Now he was literally he was older head. You know what I'm saying? This nigga was like in his 30s type shit. So at this time I was a young teenager, you feel me? So shorty tell me that he threw a soda at her because he was trying to holler at her. And I mean, it was her and her sister. He was trying to holler at her. And she basically, I guess, was dubbing this shit, said some fly shit. He got mad. He was one of them type of dudes that if a chick dub his shit in front of another group of dudes, he be the one of them niggas that be like, oh, fuck you, you dumb bitch, or like one of them lame ass dudes. I'm pretty sure everybody know them type of lame dudes, bro. They ain't getting no play now. All of a sudden, oh, you fuck you ugly bitch, or you bald headed or bull, or say something crazy. So, my shorty said something crazy back to this nigga, and this nigga threw like a can of soda, but like close to, like, he didn't hit her or nothing, but he threw it in their direction, bro. So when I come back to the block, she's like, yo, this motherfucker, she tell me about. I'm like, who? I'm like, this nigga. I'm like, what the fuck happened? She tell me what happened, boom, boom. I'm like, alright. So there's a lot you can learn from the story too, so everybody pay attention. So I'm like, alright, so shorty tell me, you know what I mean, her version of what took place, right? Now this is my joint, you know what I mean, everybody know that's my joint too. So I know that he got some dudes hustling for him selling that wet, that dust, you know what I mean? He had his hands in that shit and some other shit. And he wasn't really official, he was a Brooklyn, I think that's it. So anyway, so check this shit out. So I go to one of his workers, I run down on one of his workers. But I don't know crazy rah-rah shit. Just on some, yo, bro, do me a favor, B. When you see this nigga, blase blah, know what I mean? Tell him I said I want to holler at him. I got to holler at him, B. I heard he got into a situation with my shorty or whatever. Chop it up with him. Now, mind you, I wasn't really thinking about on some real extra. Because when she told me the story, I'm like, all right. So first of all, I knew for a fact he didn't know that was my joint. He probably found out after that situation took place between her. He didn't know that was like my shorty. Know what I mean? So now when I go to his worker goes and relays the message back to him. But when he relays the message back to him, I feel like, it was just, it got to him differently. You know what I mean? Like, I think son, the dude, the kid that I gave that worked for him, he was some little bird ass nigga. He wasn't nobody special. I wasn't even trying, I knew he was soft. So I wasn't even trying to be tough on him, you know what I mean? Because I knew he wasn't about it, you know what I mean? And his name was Chino. And this nigga, he went over there, I told him trick some other shit. Right? So now, a whole day go by. I don't see these dudes. I go get in that bag. Back then I was doing a lot of dumb shit. Back then literally I was doing wild burglaries, robbing cabs, stick up. I was doing everything. I was doing a little bit of everything. I was bugging the fuck out. So now it's late at night. Late. I'm talking 1 in the morning type late, 2 in the morning type shit, right? And I'm in the park, that park right there in Raya. So I'm in that park in Raya, and it's me and some shorties, a bunch of joints, all chicks was there. I believe it was all chicks, and I think one gay nigga. No, he wasn't even there. It was all chicks, bro. It was all chicks. Jackie, Gio. I shouldn't say. Well, I can say it in there. Anyway, that was 2 of them, and it was a couple of more. Stacy. No, not Stacy. The honey wasn't Stacy. I'm messing her name up. It was like 4 or 5 of them though, right? So anyway, across from us in the park. Oh, keep in mind now. All right, so this is what I'm missing out. This is an important fact too. Now that day I did a burglary, and I ended up having to jump out of a window. Real talk. And when I landed, I sprained the shit out my ankle. I mean, almost broken. I ain't break it, but it was a bad sprain. So I had a cane, and I had one slipper on with a sneaker. You know what I mean? Because I fucked my ankle real bad. I had to go to the emergency room, all that. So when I was sitting, you see how this bench is? But I was sitting on top of the bench, you know what I mean? With my feet on top of the bench. And then I had the cane, we was drinking, we had the bottle, the joints is there, you know what I mean? So these dudes is across from us, it's 3 of them. I don't recognize, I'm not IDing them, because it was like the lights is all done in the park too. It was mad late, and the lights ain't on and all that back then. So they kind of like in the cut by where the kids is at with the what you call that shit, with the monkey bars and all that, right? So, but then they over there puffing. I knew it was 3 dudes over there. I didn't know who they was though, and I was focused on the joints. I had 5 chicks I was with. I was the only dude there. I had jewels on. I was looking like money, smelling like money. I had money, nigga. Like, so dudes comes over to me. The figures start moving, and as they start getting closer, and I noticed that it's the dude that had the incident with my shorty. So I'm sitting on the bench and shit, right? And the nigga come up to me and shit. I'm like, oh shit, yo, what up, bro? Boom. He even took my hand, but I felt the energy. The energy was like, it was just off, right? So I'm drunk as fuck, high as fuck, you know what I mean? Got one leg working, and out of nowhere, it was on some like, yo, what it was that shit you was saying, that you was looking for me or some shit like that, and the nigga just caught me. Bro. When I'm talking about he caught me. When he caught me, I fell off from the way I was sitting. Like I went all the way down, doof, hit the bench, right? Had the cane, automatically swung that. Son was able to grab that shit, you know what I mean? and just snatch it from my hands on some real low nigga. Give me that shit, little nigga type shit, because he was way bigger than me too. So he was able to just snatch that shit and tossed it. Could have whipped my ass with that shit, I guess, if he wanted to, but he didn't. But instead, then what's that happens? He had 2 little goonies run down on me. The 2 other little niggas that was with him, they started jumping me. So I'm getting it on with these niggas out of nowhere, bro. Shit just went literally like left. This nigga just popped on me, you know what I mean, in front of a bunch of joints, like out of nowhere. He just came over to me, said some shit, boom, dapped me and all that. Then next thing you know, he put hands on the kid. Now I'm over here getting jumped by all 3 of them. He was mostly just standing around and shit, but they was trying to yap my chain. They couldn't get the main chain. They popped one of them, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't get the other joint, but the shit was like pulling me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like trying to get these motherfuckers the fuck up off of me. So the joints that I was with, off the rip, they was like, yo, what the fuck you doing? And the joints that I was with got them niggas up off me, real talk, right? So now I'm a little disoriented, right? So, but they get involved. I'm disoriented, I'm getting lumped up, boom, boom, fighting back, but I'm getting tapped up, my nigga. So, long story short, the shorty saved me, right? I end up, you know what I'm saying, getting face-to-face with the dude that I'm talking about. I have some words with him. Definitely a threat. I mean, I threatened the shit out of him. And I kept it pushing. You know? After that, I'm going to fast forward it. Something else took place. I can't get into detail. I don't want to get into details because it's like, it's a little bit too much. But nobody died, so I could say this. There was an after effect after that, and people got shot. You know what I'm saying? People definitely got shot. So now, fast forward it. Like 5-6 years later, literally 5-6. Let me see, that was facts. 6 years later, facts. We fast forward. I'm already in the belly of the beast, spinning that big boy yard, right? Dudes already know who I am. I've been in this spot for a minute. You know what I mean? Who pull up but Duke, right? And this is the crazy shit, right? That when Duke pulled up, when he saw me, he literally had the impression like if he was happy to see me, which kind of threw me off. I don't know if he was, look, and at the end of the day, I don't know if he was genuine. I think it was genuine, which is even more weirder that I think it was genuine. But it was like in the back of my mind, I'm like when I saw him, he ain't see me. I was on him. I'm like, all right, I already see this nigga. I got a goonie, I got an op out here. I'm about to, that is on and popping. So, but when he saw me for the first time, I was already ready with the grip and all that. When he saw me for the first time, he was like, oh shit, yo, chulo, lady dirt on my nigga, yo, but yo, like he was my man. Like he was my man. And he was still a big dude, tall. He lost his hair, he was bald headed. I think he was always bald headed though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, chinky eyes. I mean, so he like, yo, what up, my nigga? Boy, yo, hello, you. He had just pulled up. You know what I mean? So I'm on my, okay, let's go. Let me take this nigga on the spin. Take him on the spin. So I spin in the yard now. I got my lions on deck. My twins is already on deck. You know what I'm saying? He's seeing niggas following us when we walking. He like, yo, those your peoples? I'm like, yeah, those my peoples, man. They just, you know what I mean? They got to do that shit. It's mandatory. He like, oh, shit, you affiliated? You whatever? Boom. That's when I start telling him my other shit. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm like looking at this thing. I'm like, yo, is this nigga like, because like at the end of the day, that shit that took place didn't end well. You know what I mean? And I still had bitter taste. Even though 2 of them niggas got shot, I still was feeling a little bit about the way about how he put hands on me. Know what I'm saying? Initially, he's the one that popped it off. And he ain't never get happen to him. Know what I'm saying? I never seen the motherfucker again till like now it's 6-7 years later. And I'm like, so I'm like, I'm like, yo, I gotta address the elephant in the room, you know. I'm like, yo, bro, man, I gotta address the elephant in the room. Saying like, yo, what's up, man? Cause this shit, I mean, you know how shit ended up and your man. So he's like, nah, man, fuck all that shit, bro. You my little bro. I always knew you. Like, he was like, it was just weird to me, my nigga, that he was acting like he was my mentor. Like, it was like for him, it was nothing. You feel me? And that shit made me even more mad. Know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this nigga, because it was like he just thought it was sweet. Like, you think that I'm gonna accept that type shit, right? So, and this is 7 years later. Again, I tell you, this shit took place in the town, and now here we go spinning the yard. So I'm like, all right. I chop it up on my seat, like, yo, I already see how this is gonna go. So I'm like, yo, boom. Yo, I'm gonna go holler at my twin real quick. Yo, you smoke bud, you puff, right? He's like, yeah, nigga, boom, boom, I smoke. I'm like, yo, boom, I got you. I'm gonna hit you with a care package, all that. I start doing what I do and start beating them in the head. But I do go to the twins that's outside. I'm like, yo, let me get a little care package. I mean, boom, boom. Bros like, yo, what's up? I'm like, yo, we won't get this nigga on the next spin. You know what I mean? Once one of y'all niggas come the opposite way, ask that nigga for a light. And it's only popping. So I go, I get a little shit, get some tobacco that's out in the yard. You know what I mean? Little books that was out in the yard, snatched some shit up, put it in the net bag. Came over to the nigga, gave him some cigarettes, net bag, we still spinning the yard. We spinning the yard, walking. You know what I mean? He getting mad, comfortable, boom, boom. He like, yo, that's official, yo, I see you changing, like, groove, my nigga, yo, all this shit, boom, boom. I'm like, yeah, my nigga. I'm like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I brought up that situation again when I seen the twin was, like, right there. So I see the twin, I'm counting in my head. I'm like, yeah, that's like 10 seconds, bro. So I'm like, the last 10 seconds, I'm like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, twin. But that shit that happened, like, that was something I just couldn't let go. And then right when I said that, my bro's like, yo, bro, tells the other nigga, yo, you got a light? And he's like, oh yeah, he goes in his pocket, get the other nigga a light. And he's holding the net bag at the same time. So he goes to hand me the net bag, and he's like, yo, you can hold this for me? I'm like, nah, nigga, but you can hold this. Nah, later. Mwah! 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 He didn't see that shit coming from nowhere. I took my shit real quick and I spent. He was still holding his face together. When I left, I was gone. Hit him 3 times. That shit, look, he got a Freddy Krueger on his fucking face right now. Y'all ever see that motherfucker? So I mean, God forbid, I don't know if he alive or dead, whatever. God bless him. You know what I mean? He got the dead eye, everything now. So, that's just to go to show you. Calm as a motherfucker. Bitches always get you in some bullshit you don't even need to have nothing to fucking do with. And never think that shit is sweet, bro, because you're an OG. Because OGs get it too. Y'all already know what it is, man. Lions and men. Holla at your twin. Real talks, all facts. Never no cap. Let's go.